request is announced. Minutes of this meeting will be recorded. Therefore, anyone wishing to conduct business will be asked to come to the microphone, right there, provide your name and address, present their requests or concerns, and answer all questions of the Planning Commission. Groups are requested to select a spokesperson to express their group's concern, because each side will be allowed 10 minutes to speak. And that we need to pretty much emphasize tonight, because we have a nice crowd and we don't want to take it until tomorrow morning. Plats, rezoning, revised master plans, and street renaming require a public hearing, after which the Planning Commission will deliberate and render its decision. Planning Commission members with a personal or financial interest in any petitioner's request are required to recuse themselves. If a motion to deny a request is made, a reason must be given. Tonight, present, we have Garrett Smith, Ann Clemens, Frank Cook, Reggie Don, Buddy Hardwick, Reginald Hawkins, Cruz Reeves, Leslie Stone, and myself, James Reed. Members of the land use staff are Warren Adams, the Land Use Control Administrator, and Tanya Ingram. Tanya, is there any changes to the agenda?
Yes, sir. Number 6, the plat for North Chase, plat number 9, is being delayed till next month.
All right. Number 6.
The only plat, huh?
The only plat.
Has everybody had a chance to read the minutes? If so, are there any changes? We need to
Move to approve.
A motion has been made to approve
A second.
and properly second. All those in favor? Those opposed? All right, Tanya, here we
Item
go.
number 1, Bianca Shabazz, requesting to rezone one lot on the west side of Walnut Street, approximately 400 feet north of Carter Hill Road, from an O1 office to a B2 commercial district.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Bianca Shabazz, and I'm trying to open up a daycare in 1926.
Your address, please?
1926 Walnut Street.
Okay.
And it's next to the Alpha building, and it's a Head Start building next to it. But I've been trying to open this daycare so I could do something better for the community, even though I see that there isn't that many daycares. So I could provide help for parents, single parents, or any type of parents that need help for their kids. So I decided to do this daycare, but it was already a daycare and a home health business before, so I just wanted to rezone it.
You're going to rezone it to a
Another daycare.
B2.
B2.
Are you going to live there?
No, sir.
Do you have parking?
Yes, sir.
Are there any questions from any other members of the commission?
Is there power on that now?
No, not yet. I had to transfer over to my name, to daycare name, so they have to go do that where they're coming to fix a socket, but after that, the lights will be on.
Well, it hadn't been cut on. I mean, it was cut off before you.
It's been on before,
And
but
you've
I...
got a contract on it to, subject to getting it rezoned.
Yes, sir.
And you're a licensed daycare keeper?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been in the daycare business?
I've been in the business 10 plus years, but this is my first time trying to get my own daycare.
You have worked in daycare environment.
Yes, ma'am.
For the rezoning for B2, it kind of opens it up for a lot of things. Are you willing to restrict it for zone for daycare only?
Yes, sir. It's already centered for the daycare. Like, I already got my parking space and everything. I just had to come here so I can get it rezoned.
No, what I'm saying is, B2 kind of expands the zoning. So what I'm asking you is, are you willing to only use it for daycare?
Yes.
It's not limited, though.
Okay.
That means if you sold it, they couldn't put something there
Well, I'm
other
planning
than.
on having it for a long time, so I don't want to.
No,
put
I'm
anything-
just wanting to make sure you understand what that does. That means that if you sold it 5 years from now, the only thing that could go there
Is another daycare.
is another daycare other than before, or they'd have to come back before they
Okay.
try to get it.
Well,
Okay.
that's fine with me. I want
Yeah,
to be
okay.
there 5+ more
Just want to
years.
make sure you understand.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Any more questions from the commission? Are there any questions or comments from members of the audience? Come forward, please. Come forward. Come forward. Come up to the mic.
Let him get
Speak your name, address, and
Randolph Matusak, 3380 Wilmington Road, Montgomery 36105. I just want to comment, it's very difficult to hear
Yeah.
when you're back here. Is there no way you can improve the audio of, because we really don't
Talking to you.
hear at all. Mike's got some over there. You're working?
he's working on it. He
How
says he's
long have
working
you
on it.
been working on it?
That's another issue. That's
I'm
not-
sorry?
It's a different issue.
Mike, get him a headset.
No, seriously, you know,
No,
I
he's
don't-
working on it. No. He's working on it. He just said. he's
I
working.
was here like 4 months ago, and I could not hear what was going on. So I'm just wondering how long before we improve the audio.
That's a great question. I've been here 20 years and never have heard hardly anything. So, you know, it's
Okay,
awful.
but it's not,
awful.
it's
awful.
not a laughing matter, it's not funny.
not laughing.
I don't
it's not
think it's
anything.
funny. It's a
different
It really
issue, though.
needs to be addressed so that we
Well,
can understand the
we
issue.
appreciate your feeling the way we feel. So, thank you.
You sound good. Everybody could understand what you were saying. Are there any other questions or comments from members of the audience? Now's your time. All right. A motion is in order.
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion has been made and properly second. All those in favor? Those opposed? All right, good luck.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Now, that was with a key.
Yes. Who made the motion?
You need to restate that motion if you're doing the queue.
Move to approve with qualified
For daycare only?
for daycare only.
Okay. Ms.
Second.
Clemens? Okay. Second item is Angela Jackson requesting to rezone one lot on the northwest corner of Wilmington Road and Arlington Road from R75S Single Family Residential District to R60M Multifamily Residential District.
Hi, my name is Angela Jackson. I'm the owner of the lot on 3046 Wilmington Road.
Hold on a second. Can everybody hear her now? Can everybody hear her? Okay, go ahead. Sorry about that.
I'm actually the owner of the lot on 3046 Wilmington Road that's currently zoned for single family, and I'm requesting to have that rezoned to multifamily.
Multifamily or quadplex?
The quadplex, which is zone 65,
Okay, all right.
yes.
And you got 4 units as well?
Yes.
Okay.
It's currently a burnt home on that lot.
Are there any other questions?
My question is, where are you intending for people to park? That lot is, it seems, I was by there today, it doesn't appear to be the same size as those lots that face Norman Bridge, like the one on the corner of Arlington there that you've got the picture submitted of. Where are you intending to fit 8 cars?
Actually, the lot is equivalent to the lot on Norman Bridge in Arlington, the lot sizes, and so my plan is to have the same parking plan that that lot has.
And what about accommodating for that drainage issue that's behind the property?
The drainage issue will be addressed in the construction.
Are those units across the street from you, the white one and the red brick one, are those fourplexes or are they duplexes? Or do you
My
know?
current knowledge is the one across is a duplex.
Yes, ma'am. And the white, and the one right next to it on the left?
I believe that's a duplex as well, I'm not sure.
Yeah, okay. If that presented a problem with your parking, okay, as you start laying out your plans, et cetera, would you be willing to do a duplex instead of a quadplex?
Yes.
Okay? But it sure look a lot better than what's there now, wouldn't it?
Right. I think anything at this point.
Okay, and I think that's where he was kind of going, that, I'd think about that and with the parking, because I think that could be a problem for you too.
Now, there are some concerns about that from your neighbors. We have some signatures. Did you talk it over with them?
I didn't have an opportunity to seek the community's involvement or to engage them based on the other projects that I'm working on.
What does that mean, based on the other projects?
I was just too busy to get an opportunity to speak with them.
Are you willing to speak to them?
Yes.
Are you willing to speak to them before we vote?
Yes.
Oh, let's see what they
So
have
you
to
wouldn't
say.
have a problem with bringing it back next month?
I can do that.
And the reason I say that is because there's several signatures up here. Now,
If I may ask, what were the issues?
they didn't know it was coming. It seems to be a surprise to them. Now, I don't know the details of it. I
Mr.
don't
Chair,
know.
why don't
Yes.
we hear some of those concerns from the citizens, and then they still can bring it back, because what we're doing right now is we're just spinning our wheel. And I think we should move forward. If she says she's willing to come back next month, let's just let her hear some of those concerns so that she'll have a good idea.
Are there anybody here? Okay, there are. Please come forward.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
My name is Christopher Ford. I live at 3103 South Whole Street, which is actually right behind the residence which she is trying to put a quadruplex on. There's several concerns from us, and I think we're here well represented. I think we have neighbors spread throughout the audience, if you would raise your hand, that are concerned about this. One of my main concerns is literally between me and Elsie Cole, which is the house behind her, the drainage is a very big issue. When it rains, I think he has been to several meetings to complain to the city council and maybe the commission that it backs up into a lake. So the moving of trees or soil could send that drainage to someone else, or it could increase that drainage issue that we're having. Also, I'm not sure how she actually plans to fit 8 parking spots plus a quadruplex on this lot. And like I said, if you can, we haven't seen anything in drawings or any schematics from a contractor or anything. So we would like to see that, if that would be helpful, because a lot of us have concerns about parking, whether it be on the street. And then also, we're a historical community. We back right up to Cloverdale, and we're worried about this changing the dynamic of our community. There are several quadruplexes 2 blocks over, and the traffic and the crime is a major problem there. It backs up to one of our residents that's here, and it's something she constantly has to deal with. So it is a concern for a lot of us. We were not aware of it until we saw the sign, and immediately we all reacted, start getting signatures, start going door to door. So this spans not only my house, but all the way down the street, 4 or 5 blocks in each direction. So it is a concern for us. And again, that quadruplex, and I know you may not own that, but there is a ton of crime that stems from that area, and that is a concern of ours. So we would like to see if we can fit and fix the parking issue. If there's a drainage concern, how is that going to be fixed? Before you put this here, we would like to know how those concerns plan to be addressed.
Okay, before we go down that, go further, she has said she don't mind bringing it back next month. So what I would suggest is get his number, get some of the other representatives' numbers, and you all have a meeting, and you explain to them what you're doing, what your plans are, and then come back to us next month. How does that sound?
And can I ask one thing? Were you the owner before? Okay. Yeah, and we would love, look, and we want something there. It's our neighborhood. We love the neighborhood. And so we want something there. We're not trying to stop building. We just want to make sure whatever's put there is something that's accommodating to all our neighbors.
And you're informed about it? Okay, all right. Then get exchange phone numbers, and y'all arrange a meeting date, and everybody in the neighborhood, most people in the neighborhood that want to attend, then y'all discuss it. You tell them your plan, they give you input, and then we go from there next month, all right?
Okay, thank you.
All right, no problem.
Thank you for hearing us.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Item number 3, Amber Nicole Williams, a request to rezone one lot on the south side of Rainbow Curve from an R65S single-family residential to a B1A central business district.
Okay, my name is Amber Nicole Williams, and I currently live in a R65S, a single-family residential zoning, but I would like to change this to a B1A central business zoning district. Reason being, I am abutted to a business area. And also, I want to start a home-based salon with appointment-only clients. And in order to do that, I have to get approval here first, and then I can follow the next steps necessary. So I would like to be able to start the home-based salon with appointments only, but I would like to do it the legitimate way.
Are you gonna live in the building?
Yes, I live there now. That house was actually vacant for quite some years, and we remodeled the home and actually added beauty to the block.
No, I mean, are you going to live in the
Yes.
building after you do the, okay, after you
Yes,
plan to do this?
yes, so
And
all
what
of the
about-
entrances will be separate. The entrance will be coming from the rear of the house, and there'll be a private a private driveway. The covered porch will be extended, and also the concrete. So the rear piece is here of the property. There's fencing, but the only thing separating me and the property behind me is my fence. So there's a full church that's touching 4 to 6 properties left and right of me.
Do you have permission from the owners of the property
I am the owner.
of the property next door, behind you?
I haven't spoke with them. I just went down to the city and found out the information of what I could do to apply to be rezoned.
Did you say, maybe I missed it, did you say the entrance is gonna be from the rear?
Yes, I sent some pictures. This is the front of my home. I have a copy of my information that I could give to each one of you all if you like it. So in order for me to start to cut a door in the back of the home or any of the work that's necessary, I would have to have permission I would need rezoning first to have a permit.
So your customer would come in from the front and then go to the rear, is that what you're saying?
Yes, there'll be a separate walkway.
Okay.
Right, so there's also, I wanted to address the parking. So I can fit 6 cars in my yard. I only have 1 vehicle myself. And in front of my home, there's no other parking or someone's driveway. So I have no need to disturb a neighbor for someone to move a car. So I have enough room for cars. And there shouldn't be more than 2 cars at a time with a 30-minute interval between appointments.
Are there any other questions from the commission?
Have you ever had an opportunity to read the Envision 2040?
Yes, I took a look at
Comprehensive
that,
plan.
and I saw what it is that they're trying to do, and I'm glad they do want to update the zoning because it hasn't been updated for quite some time. But considering the Envision 2020, and this being a low residential area, there are 18 homes that are to the left of me from the entrance of Norman Bridge and Russell Street. they are all touching and abutted to a business or to a M1, which is low industrial. And then if you're coming into the neighborhood from Shabazz Road and Allamont, there's a total of 7 homes that are abut to more than just residential, but also to business, R99 and B2.
Did you look at the 2040 or the 2020 plan?
I actually saw the 2020 plan.
Yeah, and 2040 is a little different according
Okay.
according to this description that we received from Mr. Robert Smith, Director of Planning, and it said it did not recommend that for that area.
Yes, so the paper that I saw, it also mentioned that too, that the Envision 2040 Comprehension Plan, it recommended residential low intensity. So looking at the paper for residential low intensity, it actually maybe similarly describes our neighborhood, but we have plenty of businesses in the surrounding area. So me coming from my neighborhood and from 3 different locations, I'm going to see a business or someone is actually conducting a business and it's in a business zone. So I'm not asking to disturb my neighbors, I'm just asking to be able to have my business live there and be legitimate.
Are you saying there's houses on Allamont that are zoned commercial?
Repeat that, please.
You saying there's houses on Allamont that are zoned commercial?
The rear of Allamont, there's about 4 homes that's actually touching the back of a B2 on Allamont, coming in from Shabazz Road. It'll be 4 homes.
But they don't have business in the home?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so that's not relevant.
But you're saying they are homes, are residential homes, those 4 that you're talking about?
Yes, those are residential homes,
Okay,
and we
all
do
right.
have a business being conducted behind us
this-
and at the entrances of our neighborhoods.
Yes, ma'am. And this kind of gets us right quick into like a spot building, a spot zone.
Spot zone.
That's where, kind of what it does when you go into a neighborhood like that.
Well, I wouldn't be interrupting my neighbors, and I would not be causing any confusion, no more than someone's regular company that's visiting their home. So if I only have 1 car and the client has 1 car, that's only 2 cars in my home at that time. So it's not causing any confusion to the neighbors.
Speaking of neighbors, did you talk to the neighbors?
Well, I haven't spoken to, well, this is something I'm just learning the process of the whole thing when I went downtown, but I haven't spoken to anyone. I would have gone to a meeting for the neighborhood association, but I didn't do that either. I did make a phone call. I spoke with Cornelius Calhoun also, and I told him my plan, and he did agree with it, that it was a pretty good idea, but I did not talk with my neighborhood.
But you've had a sign in your yard for several weeks now, right? You've had a sign?
Yes, I have had a sign in the yard. I have.
Okay, so people have been able to see that and ask you questions if they had any concerns.
Yes, they could have. I'm usually outside working in my yard, but
Okay.
I haven't spoken to anyone.
All right, thank you.
I have a question. Are you aware of the neighborhood association meetings?
No.
Do you know the name of the association that in your neighborhood? Do you know the name of the neighborhood?
The name of my neighborhood?
Your neighborhood association.
Oh, I'm not aware of it. Yes, I know it's Sunshine Acres, but in South Johnson Estates, but I'm not aware of much information about the neighborhood association.
There is a neighborhood association, and they meet, let's see here, monthly on the 4th Thursday at 6 o'clock. So,
Are you willing to meet with them?
I would love to. Because I would like for them to know that this is not an impact to the neighbors, but it's just, I would like to live in a residence, but also be able to perform a business there. I've been a truck driver for 13 years.
Wow.
And at this time, I would like to be able to work from home and spend more time with my child.
So, are there any neighbors? Are there any? Yes. Come forward, please.
Just one. Just one spokesman, John.
Good evening. My name is Angela Exford. I'm Self Johnson Neighborhood Association President. I've been in my role for 4 years. I just want to make a few clarifications. The 4 homes that are on Allamont backs up to the church. There's a church directly behind those 4 homes. So it's not per se a business that do retail or provide services. It is a worship area. And just talking with the members of our association, we oppose this request because we want to maintain our home-like environment in our neighborhood. For the last 4 years, we've been working diligently to improve home-like in our community, whether it's picking up trash, meeting neighbors. Now, in reference to notification of our neighbors of association meetings, our signs go out the Saturday before our meetings are held. There's one on Russell Street that is sitting right at our entrance sign, which we had a new entrance sign put there, and working as a collaboration together with neighbors for improvement, and we work together to move our community forward. We want to be in the inclusion in the city vision. That is why we're working hard to do what we do in our community. As far as the request, the street rainbow curve is one of the gems in our community. It is a beautiful street. And the neighbors on that street, I do have neighbors here that do live on that street as a whole, but our entire community is opposing this. We are currently battling with 2 homes that are residentially zoned in our community that we've sent to 311, and we cannot get the support with enforcement because they are in a residential zone and they're barbershops. The problem that we have arisen on these particular 2 homes, cars parked on both sides of the street with no right-of-way for emergency vehicle, that is a concern too as well. This particular location is farther into the neighborhood, and it does not in line with the four boundaries of our community. Our community is bordered with Norman Bridge Road, which is one of the major highway roads, Siebel's Road, Narrow Lane Road, and the Service Road, which is parallel to Eastern Boulevard. We want to maintain our integrity there. We want to be able to sit on our porch. We want to be able to have a residential area where we can call home. We all purchased these homes as a single family home and not for business to come within our community. We want to strive hard to continue our mission and our vision to continue to improve our community. We allow one, we will have more. We don't want that. Like I said, we're already battling with the issue, working with code enforcement with those 2 that are not working. They're working in a residential home, not zoned for business. We've talked and met with those owners, and there's still a non-compliance with following the rules of being a home in our community. We've struggled for 4 years on so many issues, and we are at the mercy of this board to understand home is where the heart is. Home is where we want to be peaceful. We don't need any interruption with commercial within our subdivision. Our community is Self Johnson Neighborhood. We have 4 different subdivisions within our community. We have Sunshine Acres, Southern Acres. We also have Self Johnson, and we have Southwood Manor. We have 4 different subdivisions in our community within our footprint. I enjoy my neighbors when I walk out. I can't walk that much because I have a health condition, but I do the best that I can.
Okay.
But we're at your mercy, and we don't want it.
Okay.
We would be happy to meet with her to discuss this, but at this point, we are opposing it, Mr. Reed. Thank you so much.
Could you, are you willing to discuss? Yes.
I thank you for letting me know how you feel about it. I've been in Sunshine Acres since I was 7 years old.
Speak to me.
I love my neighborhood. I was very happy that I could come back and purchase a home that was run down and rebuilt. If you would, can we please roll the pictures? I would like for you to see that I do keep my home up, and I also am allowed to help my neighbors keep their homes up as well. So even paying half the cost to cut down a humongous tree that was a hazard, that was not on my property, I was willing to help a neighbor to do that. So I do, if we can roll to the next. My backyard is free and clear of debris. This is my neighbor's backyard. That fence goes all the way to the back door of this church. And true, it's a place that has religious events. But once that door is open, I can hear it inside of my home. There's no way you will hear any noise or have any of these things coming from my home once I open my back door. There's also one picture is where I wanted to show where I will be putting the door. I also plan on putting a privacy fence. I enjoy walking in the neighborhood just as well as all else. And there's plenty of neighbors that I see on a daily basis. We take our time, and all of us, we even cut each other's grass. So it's no way that I want to bring the community down. I just want to be able to stay right there.
Ma'am, are you willing to meet with them?
I would love to.
Okay. And, are you willing to meet with them and then bring it back next month?
Please.
Absolutely. Okay. Could you all please exchange numbers and get a date that satisfies everybody, and then have a meeting and try to have a meeting of the minds, and then bring it back next month. All right. Thank you very much.
Item number 4, Andre Brenny, representing Cobalt Realty, requesting to rezone one lot at the northeast corner of Woodley Road and Woodley Park Drive from an O1 office district to a B2 commercial district.
My name is Tommy Dawson. I live at 33 Queenwood Park Drive, Montgomery, Alabama. I'm representing Andre Bruin. He's want to take this building and make it into a complex for beauty where he can have office space people can rent and do hair, nails, and stuff in.
Is he just gonna, well, he or she, are they just gonna sell beauty supplies? That's the only?
No, they would be doing like doing wigs and doing fingernails for people in there.
But you're gonna have space for different businesses.
Yes, each you got different whole different rooms in the whole building.
Right.
Okay.
Plenty of parking.
So it's going to be similar to the little place up there called Alcatraz on the Boulevard? Is that what you're talking about doing?
What's that?
I'm right here.
Oh.
You're talking about doing something similar to the way they did the building on the Southern Boulevard?
No, it's located right there on the Woodley Road.
I know exactly where it is. It's in my
right across
district.
Peter Crump.
Yeah, I know exactly where it is. It used to be a medical facility.
Yes.
But my question is that you said that the whole building is going to be separated into different compartments?
Yeah, different
So there's more than
It's
one?
already split up in different sections.
So you're going to have more than one business in there?
Yeah, they be renting, like you say, be renting little rooms in there where they do stuff too.
Okay, and so how many businesses are you talking about moving in there?
Well, right now, you got at least about 14 different rooms.
14 different businesses in that building?
Yeah, about 14.
And where are all those people going to be parking? Because it's
You got-
sitting right there in front of Peter Crump. I don't know why it says Seth
Yeah,
Johnson.
you
on
got
it.
parking lot on the front side, on
Yeah.
the side, and then you got parking
Yeah,
on the
but
back.
it's right on that street, Woodley Park Drive, where the traffic. There's no place for those people that live there to even park themselves.
When they do, you got
It's
a
very
park-
congested.
you have
Very.
You have a big parking lot around the whole building.
It's not that big. I know where it is.
It's quite big, because you have a whole lot of folks sometimes
I know
come
exactly
from
where
Big
it
Trump
is.
and park over there and walk their kids to school.
Are there any other questions? Are there any questions or comments from members of the audience?
I had a question.
Yes.
The businesses, you said a beauty salon, a nail salon, and is it gonna be multiple beauty salons or just one person, or does it just depend on?
It just be one person, like one person per room.
I understand that, so one person per room, but what if it's like 5 different beauticians? Would you have 5 rooms allocated just to do hair?
Yeah, you have enough room for them if you want to have 5 in there, yes.
So kind of like the beauty mall over on Wares Ferry, then it'd be set up kind of like that idea?
It'd be somewhat like, instead of what you have, a whole lot of young people want to do hair and do nails. And they sometimes have, they have customers come in 1 or 2 at a time, but they have them set up on the schedule. That's what it'd be for.
Are you talking about leasing spaces within the building? Is that basically what you're saying?
I'm just saying what it is like they say they have to have license to be in that building to do hair or do nails.
But you're talking about leasing spaces within the
Right.
building?
Leasing
One
spaces.
for this, one for that,
Yes.
and all, okay, all right.
How many entrances and exits is it to that?
You got 4 entrances.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And me personally, I mean, the only way that I would even consider that is that if we was to put a queue on it, because what'll happen is you'll end up with a event center, or if we just zone this thing commercial, which was just like what we discussed with somebody prior to you. Once we do that, then it kind of tie our hands. You can just about do anything that you want to do. If this beautician services and hair and lashes, if that don't work out, then next thing we know, we got an event center right in front of these people's homes, right in front of the school, or we got a little small package store or something like that. So the only way I would even consider voting yes for this is that we definitely would have to put a qualification on it.
Well, then what it is, I potentially goes through the building every week or 2 and check and make sure what people are doing there, what they supposed to be doing. I don't want because we had, you have like drug dealers or something like that, we make sure those are not. So that's why they keep me informed to go through the building and check and make sure and talk to people to see what they're doing in there. So I always, every 2 weeks, at least, about every 2 weeks, I go through that building and check it out because I keep up the building.
I think you missed this point. What will we cue it as?
Well, I mean, we'd had to do basically like a beauty salon. I mean, basically.
But it says, my concern, it says that, or other retail commercial uses, that could be anything.
That's why I was saying it could be anything. You could look up in 2 weeks and it'd be an event center or something like that, and that's what we don't want.
Do you understand what he's saying?
I understand. We make sure that whoever we let in there, they're not going there for party and this and that.
No. What he's saying was, if we were to approve it, do you have any problems with us restricting it only for what you're going to do with the beauty supplies? Do you have a problem with that?
No, I don't.
What did you say? I'm sorry, Ann. What did you say?
Well, he just hasn't been specific about what he's going to do with it and who his tenants are going to be, so I can't imagine him being able to monitor that many different businesses inside that property, particularly the traffic and it being in front of the school.
So I guess the question is still, what will we cue it as? Only beauty supplies?
I didn't ask to cue it as nothing.
Well, okay. Are there any questions from members of the audience? All right. The motion is in order then.
I would be willing to approve it if it's approved as a beauty shop, barber shop, and hair salon.
Only.
Beautician system.
Beautician, I'm not sure exactly what the proper wording of that is, but only for those items.
For beautician services.
Or beautician services, whatever you want to call that.
Tanya, you want to help us out on this?
Beautician services is a little wide open, in my opinion, but,
Well, you put in there about the hair and the lashes and the
I mean,
fingernails and whatever else, toenails.
I mean, because something beauty to me may not be beauty to you.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah, but as-
I'll
but
second
as a-
it with
but
the,
as a salon, I mean, that way, if we was to secure it as a salon, then we'll know for sure that we won't wake up and see a liquor store or
Anything else in
or
there?
a package store or something like that.
So
'Cause
what about beauty shop, barber shop, and beauty-related services?
That'd be fine with me.
Yeah.
and
So
I'll
you would take
second
out the
that. I'll
retail
second
commercial?
that, motion.
That'd be a cue, right?
So
With the
that's
cue.
clear?
With the
Is
cue.
that- Is that clear? That would be a
Is that
cue.
clear with you?
Yes.
That would be the only things that you could put in there.
Okay.
You couldn't put a tackle shop or something like that, or.
And you couldn't sell it to somebody else without them having just that.
Exactly. Do
Yes, they
you
come
understand that?
forward.
Yes, I understand that.
Right,
Okay.
without coming back.
That's my motion.
I'll second.
The motion has been made and second that it only use will be, Tanya?
Beauty shop, barber shop, and beauty-related services.
All right.
Is anybody?
Beauty-related services?
Any other
Yes.
questions? Yeah. Did you want to say something?
I'm saying anybody that's coming out against it or?
Oh, no, I asked for any comments from members of the audience, and no one said anything. All right, all those in favor? Those opposed? What we got, Tanya?
I have 8 that voted. Mr. Hawkins, how did you vote?
Abstain.
Abstain? So it's 5-3, so it passed.
5-3, pass?
Yes.
Okay. All right,
Thank you.
good luck.
Thank you.
Please make sure you check with them about the restrictions, please, with Tanya, about the restrictions, and get a very clear understanding about
I'm
that.
telling you, I know exactly what it's gonna be.
All right,
I live over there.
I'm sorry. Item number 5. Larry Speaks and Associates representing Montgomery Properties 1 LLC, requesting to rezone a parcel of land on the southeast corner of Taylor Road and Halcyon Park Drive from O1 to B2 district.
Stephen Speaks with Larry Speaks and Associates, representing Montgomery Properties 1. This rezoning we delayed from last month. We had someone call us, a nearby property owner, call and want to talk about the rezoning, so we delayed it, which we met with him a few weeks ago. I've also reached out to Halcyon South HOA and spoke with one of their representatives as well about the rezoning to answer questions. The developer proposes to develop this parcel for commercial use, Taylor Road at Halcyon Park Drive. He's got several options he's looking at to develop on this site. One is a retail strip shopping center. A second, he is looking at a potential drugstore. And third, he is looking at a convenience store there at the corner. So B2, as y'all are well aware, is pretty broad. Any kind of general merchandise, food, drugs, office, banks, and similar uses, as well as filling stations and hotels. And the developer would like the option to do any of those with this rezoning. The conceptual plan that you were submitted, that's in that packet, was submitted to DOT. We've met with DOT out on, actually on the site here a few weeks ago, right before the last meeting. And the DOT has looked at that. We've actually made an adjustment to it per DOT's request. They're willing to accommodate one entrance off of Taylor Road, and that's all. They did say that they like the idea of having an access drive in the back that feeds the traffic back off to and onto the traffic signal. As y'all know, it's a signalized intersection there at Halcyon Park and Taylor Road with turn lanes. Given the location, that's really what's driving this. The developer, obviously, there's a lot of traffic on Taylor Road, as y'all are well aware, and that's what's driving a lot of this request for a B2 zoning. It's visible, it's got high traffic, therefore, that's what's drawing the commercial. We've talked about the option of an office-type use, but office is just not in demand right now. It's just not cost-effective to develop office, so therefore that's what they're looking at is a commercial-type development. So I'll be willing to answer any questions that you may have.
You say you had 3 options. What was number 1?
A strip shopping center.
Was, you didn't mention service station.
No, I did. I said there was a strip shopping center. He's investigating these options now. It's not decided yet, but also a drugstore, also a convenience store. Those are the 3.
He just didn't say
Okay.
gas station.
Okay.
He said
All right.
convenience store.
That's right.
Are there any other questions from members of the commission?
And you're going to exit out, you got a right in, right out of the Taylor Road. One.
And it would have to be shared, yes. With anything that goes on this property, right in, right out would have to be shared.
No matter what's there.
No matter what's there.
Okay. And then you're going to carry the other 2 exits out onto Halcyon
Park.
I'm sorry?
Halcyon Park, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Right where the light is.
Where the light is.
Yeah.
To get the traffic back up to the red light.
Stephen, is any connection going back to the back part of those properties? Is there going to be any?
So there's a, all right, so you're talking about the property to the east.
In the future.
Taylor's running east.
In the future.
So the property owner that is proposing to sell this to the developer, the current property owner actually requested a connection there with that service road so they could potentially tie onto it and use it. So that would reduce the number of curb cuts on Halcyon Park in the future if it's ever developed. So there would be a shared drive there to get you back out to Halcyon Park.
On the back side, where the bank is.
Well, on the back side, when I say the back side, I mean in the rear of the property, opposite Taylor Road.
Okay.
Because Taylor's running north and south.
Right.
We're talking about on the back side of that property.
But it wouldn't be something that goes from Taylor all the way to Halcyon back in front of the bank?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, DOT said we like the service drive idea in the rear because it pushes all the traffic back as far as possible so traffic can come out and queue up to get to the traffic signal. Basically, so it gives a larger distance for that traffic to come out.
Are there any comments or issues from members of the audience? Please come forward.
My name is Linda Burnett, and I live at 1725 Laurelwood Lane in Halcyon South. I'm also president of the Neighborhood Association, and we have discussed this, and I actually talked to Mr. Speaks, and he only told me about 2 options. One was a strip mall, and the other was a convenience store with a service station on Taylor Road. And I told him, and I will tell y'all, that we are definitely in not favor of any kind of service station and the convenience store there. There are enough service stations in the area. We don't want anything that is a large commercial development there because that's not in line with, the area and what, the homes and everything that are there. It's there at one of our main entrances, and there's a lot of traffic, and this is just going to cause more bottleneck. But also, service stations and things of that nature, I'm sorry, but there's trash, and it blows over into our neighborhoods, and it's noisy, because we have the MAPCO at our other entrance, and we know what it's like, and it's hard to deal with. And so we certainly don't want to mess up another one of our entrances with a big business there that is going to cause noise and trash and congestion. And the bank that's there, because of the way it is, traffic tends to back up there. And so I don't know what the solution is. I know that they want to sell the property and offices are not moving now. That's the ideal situation. But also, the planning department is not in favor of this. And I think that really needs to be considered, because whatever goes there needs to be something small that's going to be in line with the neighborhood.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
My name's Jerry Kaiser, and I've got just a colored drawing of the same thing you've got on the board up there. This green is the proposed 6-acre lot. And this is a little history about this particular piece of property. The Wallers own this property forever. And I'm sure this property was bought in 1986, and it was supposedly going to be for a hospital. It was specifically sold with those intentions, and that's in the original deed. And it also restricted anything within a 1,000-foot radius of this property could not be anything that would compete with a hospital. From the main entrance into East Chase, the Wallers did a super job of protecting that Taylor Road. It's not a single zone business between right here, which is right by that Hardee's, all the way to the main entrance in the East Chase. They got 2 churches and a nursing home down there, and then the Warlers, I think, donated that property for the park that's down there, and then you've got some other office zonings. All of this circumference of this Halcyon Park is all business lots. I own an office right here, I own a couple of other businesses right here. I'm part owner in that riverbank here, and it's always been zoned for offices, this entire part. And that restriction for the use of the hospital ran out in 2011. It was a 25-year timeline on it. Prior to that, the owners had to approve anything that might have any competition for a hospital. One particular plastic surgeon right here in 2002, when we were building some of these buildings along there, had to get an agreement from the hospital in order to have just a little surgical room in one of his buildings over there. So this property's been sitting there, and it's not in its zone office on 3 sides, and the north, the east, and the south is on all zoned offices, and all across the road on the west side is all residential. And you can see all the hundreds and hundreds of homes down through here. The traffic right now, this Regions Bank is one of the largest traffic branch banks in the city. And right now, from this street coming in right here, where the corner where my office building is, traffic now backs up because the turn lane doesn't go all the way up to there. So now, a lot of times during the day, the traffic will back up and block this street right here. And if they put any kind of a facility on this that has a tremendous amount of need for traffic, it's not going to be good. They got these 2 little dots you might can see right here. Those are the 2 proposed outlets coming in the Halcyon Park. The one right here is the right in, right out. So most of the traffic just about will have to be dumping out back on Halcyon Park Drive. And anybody goes out that way now knows we've got major, major problems. And it's just like up at 85 and Taylor Road. It wasn't planned right. And of course, Taylor Road and Vaughn Road is doing fairly well because it is fairly contained there. You go south on Taylor Road, it's a totally different development procedure because of the traffic. Yeah. So my contention is it needs to be maintained, the office zoning. They can come in and do something, and he's right about the fact that there's not a whole lot of demand for office now, but they could have sold this property 100 times over the last 20 years. Since 2011, there's no restrictions on it, but they never did try to sell it for an office because we would have bought it for offices when we were buying all these. So my point now is that it needs to remain in an office zoning, and I think the planning department agrees with that on some of the documents I see, so.
So you object
I'm
to
glad
it?
any other questions here.
So you object to it? The
I
bottom
object.
line is you object to it?
That's correct.
All right. One more person. One more person. If you don't mind, make another point that somebody hasn't made, if you don't mind.
All right. My name is Gail Childs. I live at 1918 Brookstone Drive in Montgomery. That is within the Halcyon East neighborhood.
Could you come forward a little bit into the mic?
Yes. So I live in the Halcyon East neighborhood, and we are very concerned about increased cut-through traffic that any commercial facility would bring to our neighborhood. Cut-through traffic is already a huge concern for us with motorists ignoring our stop signs. We have stop signs throughout the neighborhood, and that's constantly an issue, as well as speeding. So we're concerned about the safety of our residents. Halcyon Elementary School backs up to our neighborhood, so we have our children walking to and from school, so definitely concerned about their safety. And I would also like to reiterate what Mr. Kaiser said about the intersection at Halcyon Park Drive and Taylor Road, that it's not built to accommodate additional high traffic in that area. If you're driving north on Taylor Road, there's no right turn lane onto Halcyon Park Drive. There's a wide shoulder, and motorists are using that for a turning lane, and that makes it hazardous for motorists who actually go to the light and try to turn, not knowing that there may be someone on the shoulder, as well as coming south on Taylor Road. Those multiple left turn lanes are confusing to motorists, and they're constantly jumping in and out trying to get to the right one that gets to the intersection. Also, the fact that there's no specific indication of what the property would be used for, and even the gentleman himself indicated that the zoning that they're requesting opens it up to a wide array of opportunities, and so we would be concerned that we would no longer have a voice in what goes there. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Speaks, would you like to comment on some of the things that were said?
You may have somebody speaking for.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm sorry?
Is there anybody for this particular project? Okay, Mr. Speaks.
So a couple comments. I did talk to Ms. Burnett on the phone. I did meet with Mr. Kaiser. He was the nearby property owner we met with a month ago. And don't let me put words in your mouth, Jerry, but basically Jerry's telling me he doesn't want any B2 at all, if I heard it right. So it doesn't matter if he didn't want to qualify it, he didn't want to do anything. He doesn't want any B2. He wants to leave it office, correct? That's right. So, and obviously that wouldn't work. So, it's kind of we're kind of at two extremes here. Talking about some of the traffic, I mean, obviously the traffic is what's drawing the attention to the property. You know, the DOT did not address any kind of right turn lane on Taylor turning onto Halcyon Park. We can go back to DOT and talk to them to see if there's an improvement we can make at that intersection that would help alleviate some of that right turn movement going down Halcyon Park. We could go back to them and ask for some more help there. And then there was the other turn lanes up and down Taylor, I don't think I can do anything about, but we could go back to DOT and try to improve that. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else to add. Let me ask a question though of this group. There was, and it has to do with the Envision Montgomery 2040 plan, this comprehensive plan that got issued 3 years ago. The planning department put in the write-up that this is technically large format commercial land, whereas a small format commercial would be allowed in this planning district. First off, and I've met with staff. We met with Robert We met with Warren, we've met with Tanya, we've talked over a lot of this already, but the plan number one doesn't define what that is, okay? It doesn't define what a large commercial is or what a small commercial is. Robert's gonna work on that, he says, okay? He's supposed to do something about fixing that in this write-up, but where I'm going with that is this property is zoned Office 1, and the primary use in this medium density residential says multifamily and single family. Well, those two don't jive. So I'm asking this commission, how do y'all look at that on the bigger picture? Mr. Kaiser brought up office out there, which there's no demand for that, but on the bigger, grander scheme for the rest of this 18 acres that's sitting out there, how do y'all look at that if the comprehensive plan says one thing and it zones something else?
Well, number one, we're not experts on the comprehensive plan of 2040. That's not our expertise.
I understand, but...
Now, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Are you willing to take the service station off the table? Service station, convenience store off the table?
The convenience store, that is something that the developer really would like to have a corner, is what he would really like to have.
So the answer is no?
That's correct. That's right.
Okay. And the next question is, are you willing to discuss it further with these, with your neighbors on there, or do you want to vote tonight?
Well, I mean, I've already had a discussion with Ms. Burnett and Mr. Kaiser already, and they've both told me no, and I've even suggested to Mr. Kaiser things like, or the things we can do aesthetically, or things we can do to dress it up, and it's just no. So I don't think there's a lot of wiggle room there if he's just going to say, if we were going to say no. So I would talk if there was an opportunity to make something meet in the middle, but I'm not hearing that. Am I right, Jerry? I'm going to let you answer that.
Come to the mic. Come to the mic.
Come on.
Any change to commercial is going to create a problem, because any commercial is on that property right there with the values that they probably going to pay for it has got to have a tremendous amount of traffic. So it doesn't make any difference whether it's a shopping center, a filling station, a convenience store, or whatever it is, it's going to create a lot more traffic on that intersection right there, regardless of any kind of zoning.
Okay. All right.
And there are things we can do to help mitigate. We talked about that with DOT and the city, but still it's going to create traffic because that's what's out there on Taylor. That's what's attracting the B2 zoning. That's why the developer wants it B2, because of all the traffic out there and the visibility. So anyway.
All right. A motion is in order.
Motion to deny.
Second.
You have to give a reason.
Because it doesn't fit into the
Envision.
2040 envision.
Got it.
All right, a motion has been made and properly second. All those in favor of denying, please raise your hand. Those opposed? All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for y'all's time.
Sure.
All right, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. So we go straight to number 7. Right.
Yeah, you want to give them a minute to get out?
Yes, yes. Here we go.
No 6.
All right, number 7, Pilgrim and Bostic Engineering.
See, he don't even.
Could y'all move out in the lobby, please? Pilgrim and Bostic Engineering requesting to amend the qualified restrictions for property located at 330 Ray Thornton Road in a B2Q district.
Oh, he's got 2 of them. Okay.
Hello, I'm Chris Bostic with Pilgrim and Bostic Engineering, representing Malik and Associates. We delayed this meeting or this vote at the last meeting so that we could have a community meeting. And based on the community meeting and also the comments from the city in the report, I I asked to put together a quick slideshow just to discuss the different points that were brought up on both. It's just 5 slides, and I just wanted to kind of go through the things that have been brought up already to discuss them. Slide number 1, this slide shows Raythornton from Vaughn Road all the way south to Park Crossing intersection and where our site is located in front of and to the south of Metro Self-Storage. This site is not located across from subdivision entrances, and Lavelle Way is 0.3 miles to the north, Deer Creek is 0.2 miles to the south, and Wisdomwood Road is 0.1 mile to the north. So we're not across from any major intersections. The site is 0.52 miles off Vaughn Road, which has several convenience stores, the nearest being Lions Pride at 1.2 miles from the site. So the customers for this site would be almost exclusively people who were already driving past it on Raythornton. If we can go to slide 2 real quick. Slide 2, this is the current preliminary site plan that shows our imagining of how the site might look. Since the property has not yet been rezoned, it is too early for the developer to have chosen a corporate partner, so the exact building size, number of pumps, and the property layout are not finalized. We do anticipate having both deceleration and acceleration lanes to prevent the slowing of the flow of traffic. We can say that the developer does not intend to have a liquor store or fast food drive-through, and that the rezoning will not allow those additions. This convenience store will sell beer and wine just like every other convenience store in town, and the CVS that's just 0.45 miles up the road at the Vaughn intersection. I sent the preliminary plan to Wesley Cox at Traffic Engineering, and we spoke about Raythornton Road. He told me that Raythornton is not on the city's list of poorly performing roads, and that it is unclear at this time if a traffic study would be needed, since our location would be unlikely to produce any additional trips. But would mainly consist of trips that were already occurring along Raythornton. That said, a full and thorough review by all city departments would still be required once we submitted the development plan. If we could go to slide 3 real quick. Here is a close look at the immediate area surrounding our site. Metro Self-Storage is just to the north. Smart Smiles Orthopedics is across the street to the north, and Avalon Montessori is across the street to the south. Again, the nearest major subdivision entrance is Deer Creek, which is 0.2 miles to the south, and it has the same deceleration, acceleration with a left turn lane from the center that almost every business and subdivision on Raythornton has, and that we anticipate our site will have. There have been concerns voiced over current speeding and reckless driving on Raythornton, so I think it's important to point out that our entrance will have the same minimum traffic safety measures the subdivision entrances currently have, and will have a lower trip per day count than most of the subdivisions do. If we could do slide 4. Slide 4 shows the zoning of the surrounding area. We are surrounded by business and office zoning on all sides, and we are not across the street from any residential properties. This property is part of a larger parcel of land that was rezoned from B3Q to B2Q restricted to climate control storage only on October of 2004. We only found out when we were sent the information package for the Planning Commission that in May of 2013, the use was expanded from only climate control storage to all Class A uses under B2, with the exception of the list in the remarks section, which service station or its convenience stores is on. But this changes nothing in our original request, except that instead of asking to be rezoned from climate control storage only to convenience store only, we are asking to be rezoned from B2Q that excludes convenience stores to a B2Q that allows them. In addition, I spoke with Robert Smith, who worked on Envision Montgomery 2040, and the map shows the entire west side of Ray Thorrington from south of our property up to Vaughn Road as potential open area as listed in the report here, even though most of that area was already developed. We concluded in our conversation that the consultants likely saw the number of large ponds to the north, and our site was painted with a wide brush along with the rest of that property. Slide 5, please. This is Ray Thorrington along the front of the site. Avalon Montessori across the street has a two-way driveway configuration with a deceleration, acceleration lane with a left turn from the center lane, similar to what we anticipate having for our site. Concerns about traffic stacking for Montessori during drop-off and pickup times in the deceleration lane to the south and the center turn lane along the north have been brought up as concerns for access to our property. Montgomery County is full of schools that twice a day change traffic patterns for the neighborhoods and businesses around them. This area is no different. If traffic blocks a left turn lane into the site, then the driver will come back later, pass by and turn around or go somewhere else. There's also a concern that the addition of a convenience store would encourage kids to walk from their neighborhoods down Ray Thorrington to the store. The subdivisions off Ray Thorrington have sidewalks for internal pedestrian traffic, but there are no sidewalks on Ray Thorrington, and it is not a walking road. The CVS up the road has the same snacks and conveniences that the convenience store does, and pedestrian traffic has not become a problem, so assuming that this convenience store would be different and would entice kids to walk down Ray Thorrington isn't really a valid argument. Another concern that was voiced was that the convenience store parking lot will become a hangout for troublemakers leading to crime. There are multiple parking lots from businesses in this area alone. There is also a CVS and Thompson Park to the south. This is a good area, and that kind of behavior is not only discouraged, but reported to the police by the community. The developers plan to run a nice business and do not intend to allow loitering any more than the rest of the community. I appreciate your patience with the slideshow, and if you have any questions, please let me know.
All right. Does any members of the commission have any questions or comments?
Chris.
Yes, sir.
The restrictions that have been put on it, definitely says no convenience stores, as you alluded to. Also says eliminate Class B automobile filling stations, drive-in eating, and so on. So, motels, that type of stuff. What are we supposed to do as a board when we make these qualifications, and then later when they come back up, we say, well, I know life changes, I know development changes, and so on and so on, but how do we justify that when we're sitting here tells us not to, the things that can't be, and you're trying to put what can't be?
Well, and I understand your question. It's a good question. In 2004, it was approved B2Q convenience store only. Times changed. In 2013, they expanded it with some exceptions. And now we're asking again to change it again because we think this is something that would benefit the community. It has been changed. It can be changed again. It could be changed again in the future. That's why this board is here.
Okay. Any other questions? Comments? All right. I'll open it up to the audience. However, let's keep it brief and let's have
One person.
one or two people come up, and please don't make the same point and just go over and over. So please state your name.
My name is Cheryl Johnson. I live in the community at which we're discussing today. And I'm thankful that we have businessmen and women that want to have businesses in our city. We need economic development in shopping centers, downtown, and areas that are zoned for commercial development. The request that you have today is a modification that prohibits liquor stores, nightclubs, adult video stores, and convenience stores. I grouped them all together myself. There is no reason convenience stores are on the number 4 on this list. Although I can give you many examples, I'll give you one. Just 2 nights ago, a gas station convenience store 4.1 miles from the property that's listed today in question had a shootout and 2 men were shot. The reason number 4, no convenience stores are allowed in this zone. We want to keep that. As a resident of this community affected by this decision, these restrictions must be kept in place so that the residential area's safety, peace of mind, and willingness to disallow violence and crime to erode in our residential neighborhoods. We ask you to deny this motion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's heard.
We have one more after you.
Okay. Hey, it's Michael Godwin. I was retained by the HOA board of Deer Creek. That's 1,600 units. The board unanimously does not want a gas station there. I'll be very brief. You've got Blunt, Johnny Carr, and a Montessori school that all use Arlington Road every day. We all know what happens at gas stations. We live in Montgomery. I mean, it's no doubt of what the traffic's going to bring. There is a CVS that offers everything that the gas station offers but gas. They have to maintain a security and usually pay off-duty police to keep the parking lot clear. There's nothing that's going to guarantee they do that. Here they've had issues with racing on Vaughn and Ray Thornton, and it's just, I think they unanimously agree that it's bad for the area and it's not needed. You've got gas stations in a very close proximity, and so they just urge that the board keep it confined. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
My name is Lou Balistrieri. I live at 3300 East Avalon Parkway. I highly oppose this gas station. What I did is I went out the other day and I was in my car and I started a journey at Taylor Road and Vaughan Road, heading east on Vaughan Road. In the vicinity of Taylor Road and Vaughan Road, we have a Mapco and a Circle K gas station. You travel down 1 mile east on Vaughan Road, we have a Walmart gas station and a Shell gas station. You travel down 4 miles from there, we have a brandy new Circle K gas station, which is on the corner of Chantilly and 110. If you go down there 1 more mile, you will hit a Chevron gas station right past the public shopping center over there. If you backtrack and go down Pike Road and you hit Pike Road and you take it over to Ray Thornton, that's approximately 3 miles. Going down Ray Thornton, coming from Vaughan Road, up Ray Thornton towards Pike, we have Melrose on the left side. On the right side, on the left side, we have 2 more entrances and exits to Deer Creek. We have Thornton Trace on the right side. We have a fire station on the right side. We have Breckenridge on the left side. We have Foxwoods on the left side. We have Avalon on the right side. Okay? I live in Avalon. They speed constantly coming down Ray Thornton from Pike Road. My wife was in a very, very serious car accident on the corner of Pike Road and Ray Thornton. I'd like to show you some photographs. You take a look at them. She was nearly killed. I'm retired from law enforcement in the NYPD, and as I see it, the aggravating safety factors here are we have very limited and poor lighting on Ray Thorington, especially coming down from Pike Road. We have a big bend in that road where you can't see, and there are deer running back and forth by those farms. Can't see anything. There's a straightaway which comes down into a turn and a bend in the road. People speed there constantly right before hitting that ball field. There's no traffic control devices on Pike Road and Ray Thorington, which people coming from Pike Road enter Ray Thorington very quickly, and they continue down towards Vorden Road very quickly. The turning lanes are constantly used as passing lanes, okay? People travel by you. The speed limit is 50 miles an hour. They travel at a high rate of speed, and they go into the turning lanes and use it as a passing lane. There's absolutely, as far as I can see, no police patrolling and governing traffic regulations on Ray Thorington. I'm living there almost a year, okay? One of the problems we have on Ray Thorington and Pike is controlled by the sheriff's office and the state troopers, and Ray Thorington is controlled by the city. Nobody seems to want to take responsibility for any of the traffic regulations over there. The city of Montgomery has jurisdiction over Ray Thorington, and Pike Road and the sheriff's office have jurisdiction over Pike Road. I highly do not want this here, and I could speak for some of the members of my community in Avalon that don't want it as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair, point of order, call for the vote.
That was the last one. I mean, do you have something different to say?
Yes, I'm Angela Carmichael,
Okay.
and I'm president of the Thorington Trace HOA.
Okay.
Our main concerns are, of course, the traffic. We also have, right across the street is going to be a new Montessori daycare, 2.5-year-old to 5. The traffic is going to, the parents have got to park their cars, they've got to get out, get their kids, get in and out. Thorington Trace is a one-way in and one-way out road. Yes, there are a few places where it is indented for you to turn, but that is a 1 to 2 car turn at those neighborhood spots. It is not designed for heavy-duty traffic.
Okay.
The second main concern we have is the amount of crime and the trash. Those particular types of convenience stores and gas stations, create, as earlier was, stated, the trash is just spread out. That people throw the trash outside their cars. We do not want that on our roads.
Okay, thank you very much. Before I forget, is there anybody in support of this project? All right, Mr. Bostic, you have the last word. Your project. Please keep it kind of short.
Thank you. I understand all the concerns. I know that people are concerned about crime. I understand that people are concerned about speeding. I will say, as far as visibility for this location, there is that large bend in Ray Thorington at the beginning. We are past that. There is very good visibility. The speeding that is occurring right now is not in any way related to this project. And like I said, the subdivisions that are currently there now, they have the exact same design that we will have: a deceleration lane, an acceleration lane, and a center turn lane. So, it is working for them. While, I'm sure everyone would prefer a light at their intersection, it is working, and I think we are a safe distance from all of the major subdivisions for traffic not to be a concern, or for this to be a major impact with the reckless driving that people are currently seeing. In addition, trash, I've seen trash outside of a convenience store before too, but you also have to take into account, you know, the community as a whole is policing. We have a park down the road that stays nice because the community makes sure people don't tear it up. We have churches, we have other businesses with parking lots that are not getting trashed at night because we have a community that polices itself and makes sure that those things don't happen. And I believe that if this convenience store was built here, the same kind of community policing and the owner's determination to have a nice business in a nice area would prevent a lot of the concerns that people have associated with convenience stores.
Okay.
Thank you.
Tanya, I have a question for you. Have we voted against the service station on the street before?
Ray Thornton, well, let me say this. Some of the other properties that have a queue on them, most all of them restrict a convenience store.
But we never voted one down, is what I'm saying?
I don't recall one.
Okay. All right, Mr.
I don't remember.
All right, Mr. I'm sorry? Okay. Mr. Bostic, the land use objects to it. The people object to it. We voted it down before. Okay. Is there a motion?
Motion to disapprove.
I second.
A motion has been made to disapprove, and the reason disapproval? Safety?
Safety and, you know, quite frankly, because I'm going by what we already have.
Right.
I'm going by what we've got in black and white, and it says you can't do it. So why are we in here trying to do it? That's, and I don't blame you for trying to do it, Chris.
Well, I mean, that's what rezoning's for.
A motion has been made and properly seconded. All those in favor of denying this project?
Thank you.
Got another meeting, see y'all. Next.
You gonna adjourn this?
Oh, motion.